I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot everything about both of those shows.
It's
You lucky bastard. How do you just push it away?
How do you just turn this
Enough
off?
mental scarring and it just goes away.
It's true. I can't tell if you're laughing or crying.
I can't. Just fall into like a deep depression.
It's okay, man. About halfway to the light, if you make a left, there's a gift shop.
Yeah. But will it have better Voltron in it?
No.
Oh god.
It gives you Voltron the third dimension.
It's just like it's just wall-to-wall screens of Voltron
man.
Force. That's all it is. All playing all different episodes.
They're like round-robining episodes, so it's just, yeah. Oh, God. Oh, man.
A million gift shops along the way, and each one's a part of your life. You're like, this isn't bad. That's not bad. Voltron Force.
I get sucked in by some mysterious force. They lock the door behind me.
You almost got away with it.
No.
Lotor's in the corner. He just flicks the light off. Click.
No, he hears like pigeons laughing.
Oh, man.
And you finish every episode, and he's like, so what'd you think? You just go... He's like, ready for round 2?
Oh, man.
You have to keep your eyes open the whole time, or you have to restart.
Oh. Oh, man.
Did we just describe hell?
Yes. This is like the 22nd layer of hell.
And you thought it stopped at nothing.
And what's worse is, like, as you're walking in, you just hear... Da, 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 da.
Baby.
No! The TVs are just floating in circles around you, like bobbing in and out with that music playing to Voltron Force, and
Oh,
you're just
man.
curled up in a ball, sucking your thumb.
It turns into some fucking nightmare dream where the lions are doing the dance and then Ultraman Dinah's in the back.
Oh, God. Oh,
So are we actually ready to start this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay.
that was it.
In a world of shiny helmets, spandex jumpsuits, and strange monsters, these heroes force feed you a bowl of awesome that is the Tokudon Podcast. Join Carl, Josh, and Rob as they haphazardly welcome you to the exciting genre of tokusatsu. Now, open wide.
Yeah.
I'm glad you made it through the last episode.
Me too.
Me too. Oh, Ben's resurrected from the dead. He's out of the Shadow Realm.
He came back. It was a rough one.
I mean,
I also like how we're continuing a joke that was said after the podcast
Listen.
that no one has referenced to.
Listen. Doesn't matter.
those who know, you
If
know?
they joined
God, I
our
hate
Discord,
that.
or if they, I don't know, went
Magically
into,
joined our Facebook group?
There you
Yeah,
go.
just go join the Discord and you'll know. So,
Uh-huh.
because we
Plug.
don't use that, but
Facebook group? What's that?
anyway, this is Tokudon.
Welcome.
Everybody. We're talking this week. We're talking some more. We do a lot of talking on this show.
Uh-huh.
It's a podcast. It's
Listen.
what we're supposed to
Listen, Josh, why do you got to do this?
I'm juggling. The whole time.
Why are you like
That's
this?
what it is. Does nobody else juggle while they do this?
No.
Okay. Thought it was just me.
Who hurt you, Josh? Who hurt you?
See, what we don't see is Josh doing the Dino Force Brave dance all hour and a half of this entire thing while he's talking.
This is clothing optional, right?
Optional?
You don't wear clothing while doing the Dino Brave dance. I don't care what the show has told you.
I haven't worn clothes since we started this thing, so we're going on like 13 weeks, 14 weeks now. So yeah,
He has gotten complaints at work, but he still goes.
yeah, but I'm the boss, so it's fine.
Why are you naked? Join the podcast and find out.
Yeah. Follow us on Instagram. Join the Discord. You'll find out. Who knows?
Exclusive pics.
So this week we're gonna. Oh Lord! This week we're gonna talk about how to fix the absolute spectacular pieces of poop that we've had to endure the last couple of weeks.
Because we love you.
Including Ultraman Dyna and Voltron Force. I forgot what it was for a second. So we're going to talk about how to improve it and what we would do to improve it because they're absolute booty nonsense.
Step 1, erase it.
Yeah, step 1 is deleted from all annals of history.
Which one are we starting first?
Let's do... Well, we did Ultraman first, so...
Makes sense.
Let's do that one first.
Okay, the part that bothered me about Ultraman was I don't understand the villains. Where are they coming from? Who the fuck are they?
Well, I mean, when your
hope
villains
that's-
are literally like a 50-cent spin toy machine of who's going to pop out in the next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Supreme Monster of the Week, and each monster was just as dumb as the next in reasoning.
Okay, wait. But all the shows we watch are pretty much monsters of the week, but they still had a story of,
Yes.
oh yeah, this is the main villain. This was just like these creatures just arrive because reasons.
Because balloon Mars things that are never mentioned ever again after episode 2
Oh yeah, the squiddy thingies
that make the rock spider Godzilla.
Maybe we didn't get far enough into the season.
Maybe they bring him back. I don't know.
We
Maybe
got 10 episodes in and they never explained it. So
You're absolutely right.
the only thing they did explain is that they're a band of really useless military people.
Like to the point where anything they do is just why are you bothering?
Like,
nothing you have done to this point.
It literally got to the point where the trainee squad that came in to help that one episode did more than the actual main character of the show. Like, what is that nonsense?
So
I might not have.
I feel like the first step here is to make a villain.
Yeah. What were we gonna say, Ben?
I'm not sure if I got far enough in or not, but do they explain the mystery of
Nope.
the light?
Nope.
They explain nothing.
Nope.
Okay. Because I thought it was really, really lucky that a dude floating in space, suffocating, just happened to be in the right part of that vacuum
Yep.
for a light
I
to
think that's
catch him.
I think that's pretty much Ultraman MO. I feel like someone is always just happens to be dying in the right place.
Yeah.
Then Ultraman's like, this guy looks like pretty cool.
That's kind of just like shonen toku kind of like storytelling. Like, oh, they happen to be in the right spot at the right time. Here you go. Here's magical main character power. Sometimes, most of the time. There's a few
I wonder if
exceptions.
the light is lucky you.
It is a step behind. Let's get teenagers with attitude.
Yeah. But is it better or worse than the Teenagers of Attitude?
I don't know, because if you have a character like Shin Asuka, yeah, the Teenagers with Attitude are way better.
I mean, at least they have some kind of emotion. Other than smile blankly like a cardboard cutout at the screen for 20 minutes.
Let's stick my fingers up this guy's butt.
Yeah, and then 1,000 Years of Pain. So
Yeah, exactly. That's I'm sticking with that.
yeah, so number 1, make a freaking villain. Usually there's some kind of like evil Ultraman, but I don't know. I don't know. Just introduce him from the get-go.
Yeah.
Set up the problem for the rest of the series. That problem can adapt and change, but you need something.
Yeah.
What I would kind of do with the main character in an Ultraman series is make him like super stoked that he has this Ultraman power. You know what I mean?
So
Like
you would make him Ultra or Kamen Rider Gaim of Ultraman, where he's just
Right,
like growing and doing poses.
fuck yeah, like he would be like, this is my shit right here. You see this? Only me.
He just
Only
starts,
me right
he
here.
just starts headbanging to the flashing red light in his chest. Yeah.
That's what I would do with this, because then you could set it up for all kinds of typical character tropes. He would go like be super arrogant, get his ass kicked, blah blah blah. But it'd be more interesting than just nothing, just a blank husk.
I think like if you made a villain that had some kind of story significance whatsoever, other than this creature woke up, let's get it off the planet because it puts everyone to sleep when it sings. If you had like any kind of villain, that would easily flesh out like your other characters, because they would have someone, you know what I mean? Like that's the point of the antagonist, to help like flesh out your protagonist, and
that's
going against the grain like that. And they're supposed to help them evolve, and they're usually the triggers for their evolution in a series, in a story. So like,
hear me out.
Go ahead.
Gary Busey.
Oof.
Boom.
Oof.
Holy teeth, bro.
What if Asuka just grew up to a giant Gary Busey?
What if the Hulk became Gary Busey? If Hulk reached Ultra Instinct, he's Gary Busey.
The teeth come out. Oh man, it's just, you get Hulk, Maestro, Gary Busey. That's the level of power we're reaching here.
Weezy's done it, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
Hi.
Hiya. Oh man. So yeah, I just think like if like I agree, Josh. If you just had a villain, that would easily, even if it was like a bad story, like that would at least help some kind of character development in any shape or form. And that's really the biggest problem of the series, because there's literally nothing to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, I mean, but it also helps build the main characters. Where this one, they're already bringing in these like side characters that mean nothing, just have some kind of storyline
that are just equally as flat. It was like, instead of making one fleshed out character, they took like the super singular dimension aspect of a person and then just made like 13 characters.
Yeah, I mean, you fold them all, like combine them. Shit.
Is that a human? What?
I would be more interested in a fucking warped alien with some kind of interesting thing to say than any of these characters.
The fungus monster was more interesting than Asuka. I'll say it.
Yeah. I have a big brain.
It's the biggest brain ever because it's physically large. Because that's how that works. I think one of the biggest issues, just with Ultraman in general, honestly, with me, is how they do their fight scenes, and how they're 9 times out of 10 just like 5-year-olds wrestling. I said it a bunch of times in that episode, but it's like 5-year-olds wrestling in the backyard. Like it just turns into them like rolling over each other.
Yeah.
And like, I get they're trying to go for some kind of, these are creatures and monsters and all this, but like, it's boring when they're just kind of like bouncing at each other and rolling around.
Yeah. I don't know.
Honestly, the Ultraman, if you want to send in space, fine. Other planet, fine. Just rip off Voltron at that point. He is a Voltron of his own. You just have some galactic evil that you're trying to kill.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, it seemed like they were being sent to that planet.
Yeah.
But just no reason for...
Maybe he went to the Shadow Realm.
Did he go to the Shadow Realm?
He went to the Shadow Realm.
Okay. So he was banished to the Shadow Realm. He'll be back eventually when his next turn comes in his draw phase. I just like I think part of this, the problem with the opening to the series, relied on that you saw Tiga. I think that's what the one was before.
They referenced it heavy in
like
first
immediately in the first couple episodes, and I was like, I literally have no idea who that is. And then I looked up a picture, and I was like, oh, they look exactly the same. Wait a second. Like, I'm all for continuing stories and all that kind of thing, but like, they need to also be. You shouldn't go into an episode cold and have no idea what's going on, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like there needs to be an overarching plot, but it also needs to have like a contained story within the episode.
Yeah, I mean, if it's going to be a sequel, you have to be able to be interested in the current story too, not just
like, and it shouldn't just be like callbacks to other stuff. Like, oh, remember this? Oh, remember that? Oh, remember this? Like
Voltron Force. Voltron Force.
No.
Did
Welcome back from the Shadow Realm. It's his draw phase. That's why he's back.
He lives.
Trap card.
You're not supposed to use on yourself, buddy.
That's how they work.
I wasn't. I'm cooking something up.
Just wait till my next turn. When Swords of Revealing Light goes away, you're fucked.
Then I break out Magic Hat.
Oh, Lord. Magic Jar. Just draw 2 cards.
Was that
All
it?
right.
I forget.
Magic Jar was the draw 2 cards. I only know that because I've been playing the Yu-Gi-Oh game again. Anyway, getting back to Dyna. I also think the problem is his forms literally did nothing except for, was it Mystic? Is that what his blue one's called?
No, a Miracle.
Miracle, there you go. Mystic, Miracle, whatever. He can create a fucking black hole.
There's no balance.
We're going to ignore that little fact for the rest of the series, but literally there's no tension when he could just turn into that and make a black hole.
That was one of the notes I put too. Like, form changes would have been a lot bigger of a deal instead of just, I can subtly do A, B, and C.
Yeah, I didn't even realize he got strength and miracle and whatever. Stronger, whatever.
Yeah, because if you blink in the episode, you miss it.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it. And if it's a different form, you should make a spectacle of it. That's the whole point of Toku. Make a spectacle.
Was there some reasoning or some drive behind when he could turn into that?
It was a half-assed little if only I were a little bit stronger,
and then he gets
or I can't hit this guy.
I've always found that to be hysterical. Like, you have some random monster showing up, and clearly they're this ultimate enemy of this good force that finds this guy floating in space, and so he becomes it. And then he's like, well, I can't kill this dude, so let me try this form.
Yeah.
I still can't kill him. Let me try this form. Why doesn't anybody just ever be like, look, I'm going to go my ultimate form from the get-go and just slap you? Because I got something to do.
They need to activate the power of will inside of them that actually activates that final form. So, when you can't hit the dude who's 2 feet away, you grow a sword out of your arm, and then you can finally hit him. So, that's why.
At some point, it's got to become memory, though. Like, hey, how did I feel that one time when I completely massacred that dude?
And that's part of the problem with the Ultraman too. I never understood if they were their own sentient beings or not, and they seem to kind of flip-flop whether they are.
They seem to be, from what I understand, they are a sentient reach from their own civilization, and then they just kind of bond with humans for shits and giggles.
Like a physical form on Earth, I guess. But, why? Why when he turns into his, Ultra form, is he just that bad of a warrior? Why doesn't he, Ben saying, why doesn't he just go into, miracle form right away when he recognizes, oh, this dude's a problem that, I can't touch. Let's go long range. You know what I mean?
Because they have to fill 23 minutes.
Listen, you can fill 23 minutes with that, though.
Just giant Ultraman Dyna looking at the director can I hit him now?
Did they set the mattress
give it
up
5
for
more minutes. All right. A lot of people are going to die, though. Yeah, it's fine. They're extras.
Yeah, it's fine.
They're not paying anyway. It's fine.
Just means we won't have to get pay them.
Yeah.
Hey, can I do some cool flip?
You can flip
once. You can do it once, one time, and that's it.
Matter of fact, no.
Okay.
I'm just gonna reverse the footage so it looks like you flipped. Don't ask me again.
Don't ask me for anything ever again. I don't. I also hate the Dyna. I just hate Dyna.
Yeah.
His henshin device is the dumbest thing ever. There's some poor excuses for toys in Toku. That is up there for the why even bother? Just sell a figure of Dyna.
Yeah. Visually, it looks like shit.
It literally looks like a turd with a crystal coming out of it. It looks like a turd, someone carved an Easter Island head out of a piece of poop, and then it flicks a crystal out of it. That is Dyna's henshin device.
Absolutely.
I would 100% make it I don't know, literally anything. I would use the G belt capsule things over that thing.
You go.
Yeah.
I go.
You go. Here we go.
G. Oh God. Well.
Oh man, wait until we watch that, guys.
Or at least paint it.
I would at least paint it. Come on.
Paint it.
Come on, man.
It's supposed to be this ancient relic. Yeah, well, fucking paint it.
Or if I was to keep that like poo thing around, I would at least have them be able to talk to each other through it. Like that's how he communicates with Dinah, that kind of thing. So they
Like
can
a
like
sentient
yeah, like if
poo?
it's a sentient creature, you should be able to like talk to him. Yeah, it's a sentient poop. It's the guy from South Park, the Christmas poop. But like, you know what I mean? Like use it, have it form some kind of anything.
Holds it in the air. I have the poo.
He would be sitting there talking to this turd in his hand. Like that would raise a lot of questions.
But then here you go, ready? Plot twist, episode 30. Ultraman doesn't exist. It's all in his head. So he's just sitting in a room talking to a piece of poop, and everyone's like, "What the fuck?"
And then, once the nurse finally leaves, like, oh, he's like this. Okay, have a good day, sweetie. Closes the door, and a tiny little, like, just the smallest bit of that crystal just goes out of the turd. Like,
the crystal starts to flash red.
The credits come up.
Oh, man. Yeah. You know how you fix Dinah? You light it on fire and throw it in a garbage heap.
Yeah. So what have we come up so far? Fixing Ultraman Dinah.
Make it not
Villain?
Dinah. Period.
Yep.
We've add a villain.
Villain.
Add a story. Add a villain.
Paint the poop.
Paint the poop.
And plot twists.
And plot twists. Yep. That's it. We nailed it.
There.
We are
I
available
still
to
say
hire.
you just actually rip off Voltron for kind of.
There's some guy sitting somewhere right now just listening in, taking notes like,
He's scribbling like
These
light
guys
in his
do
death
that.
note. He's just, yeah! Oh, man. And then they're going to sell these
ideas
ideas.
aren't so bad.
Yeah. Well, they kind of have some good ideas. I'm going to sell them and make all the money. They won't get any of it.
Kubo. Kubo.
Titties Kubo. Oh, boy. Yeah, I really want someone to suggest an Ultraman to me that's good, honestly, even if I just watch it like between our episodes, because I want Ultraman to be good. The one Ultraman movie, it's like Ultraman the Next or something like that.
Next.
I like that one time he helped Godzilla kill Mechagodzilla.
When was that? When is
Jaguar. I think he's thinking Jaguar.
that? Jet Jaguar? Yeah, that was Jet Jaguar.
Metal Dinah.
Yeah, that was the fan design of Metal Mecha Dinah.
It's the Digivolution of Dinah.
Oh boy,
Metal Dinah.
Choshinkai. Oh Lord, yes, I forgot that was a thing. And then they have a sweet high five.
Oh God.
Yeah, they high five in that movie. It's great.
Isn't that the atomic dropkick?
Yes, that is where the tail kick comes from, and the flame breath, I believe, as well. The flying breath.
Oh God.
Yeah. I really want good Ultraman. I really do.
What about the one on Netflix?
It's fine.
Fine.
It's fine.
Just
It's not really Ultraman.
Yeah, it's a continuation, but not really, and it's not like they just wear armor. They're not big or anything like that. I like the armor designs a lot. I think the armor's super cool, but it's
because it
not,
looks like Gridman, right? Like
kind of, yeah.
very
It's literally armor as opposed to like a rubber suit. But his dad is the original Ultraman from the first series.
So Ultraman got jiggy with his mom,
Yeah.
who was like actually, I think, married to the body.
Yeah, like Ultraman like possessed him for a little bit and like cheated on this dude's wife.
Oh.
And they had a kid that has like half Ultraman now. So that's how that
Okay.
works.
That's morally correct. Okay.
So
I dig it.
so Mega Man.
Yes. Yes. Nailed
So,
it.
okay, now, all right. Question then: if it's just armor, then why make that plot point anyway? If it's armor, then couldn't anybody use it, or is it still?
No, it's because it's activating something in his DNA.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like he's
okay.
super strong to begin with because he's part Ultraman, but this like focuses it and harnesses it kind of thing, and the power suit even has like a Trans Am kind of thing, and then that's when he gets the red beeping light. Like they make excuses to use all the Ultraman assets essentially.
Gotcha.
It's pretty cool. Like his Spacium Ray is pretty cool. Like he literally has to lock his two arms together to fire it. It's kind of cool.
Because it looks more like a weapon rather than just him
Yeah,
doing
he
a
has
pose.
like beam tonfa on his forearms kind of thing, almost like the Guyver. Like it's
Oh, dope.
yeah, it's cooler. It's way cooler actually.
Well, anything is cooler than Dinah, but okay.
Listen,
Anything?
I don't know if
Everything.
Voltron Force is cooler than Dino.
They are all right. You're okay. Fair, good point. No, because Dinah holds the worst episode of Toku I've ever seen. So no, Dinah's worse.
Pound for pound, 10 episodes. Which one was worse?
Dinah, I have to. I can't. That episode alone crushed my soul to the point where I've not recovered yet.
Is that really why you hate Voltron Force? It's actually a fantastic show, guys. Rob just is still scarred from Dinah. That's really what it is.
That's what it is. It's the truth.
It's actually a fantastic show. Oscar worthy. It's amazing.
Yeah, no. Dynaman or whatever.
Dynaman.
It's definitely better than Voltron Force.
Oh man, I don't know.
I don't know. That CG was pretty believable in Voltron Force.
Like I said earlier, I forgot both of them, so they're pretty equal in my book.
Nice.
Compliments all around.
Just nothing but greatness.
Still got to take therapy for Voltron, though, so I guess that.
So how would you fix Voltron?
Probably like 5 gallons of gasoline, a match, and
A little bit of bleach.
a spoon for my eyes.
If they want to continue the story of Voltron, then fucking continue the story of Voltron. Don't try to pander to my nostalgia with this crap of, oh, we're going to go back to the first team. No, make the third team like you were supposed to. Make it some original
Voltron.
bad guys. I don't even know what the third one was supposed to be. I just know there was supposed to be a third one.
Yeah.
Don't give me these kids and this. Let's switch the lines around because that makes so much sense.
Listen, when you're doing hard lines of coke in your office for 8 hours a day trying to come up with cartoons for kids, you got to think of the gimmicks first.
You know what I was thinking of the whole time watching it? It was... So I grew up early 90s, like right out of the gate. And you have all these cool shows coming out. X-Men, all that stuff. You got the graphics and, the technology for the time.
Yeah.
I feel like Voltron Force was a kid who was born December 1999, who claims to be a 90s baby, and was like, you know what? I'm going to go back to my roots and try and make my version of what this would be. And he's just trying to nail an audience that...
Just the early aughts
like,
edgelord.
Just
I would agree with you, except he thinks he's an 80s kid is the problem.
It's like, I'm gonna make Voltron Force, and the theme songs are gonna be da-na-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na.
Welcome to the Grand Tour. That's number one right there. Don't cold open on that terrible theme song.
Oh
Lord.
God, it was so bad.
Oh, should I play it again?
No, God, no. We don't have time.
Want people to listen to the podcast.
We're trying to get views, not, I don't know. It's 45 seconds and people can never get back in their lives.
That one guy is like, this is his first episode, and it's gonna be his last episode.
Oh God.
I apologize, my friend.
Oh no.
What have you done?
I can't feel feelings anymore. All right, so I mean the whole show itself was just there. I have a couple notes here about what I would do with the villain, like Lotor himself, instead of being like whatever the fuck he actually is,
the zombie revenant thing,
whatever the Oni zombie thingy. I would do like the kind of thing where like how Laura can see her dad. Like I would do like a spirit thing for him, and maybe he would help the new bad guy. But that's about all I would do with him because he's supposed to be dead.
Yeah. I would just, like, if someone, say I was, being approached with this idea and, like, maybe they had, like, the first episode done or something like that, I would literally stare them dead in the eyes, switch the TV over to Netflix, and just play Legendary Defenders. That's how I would fix this show. And just stare at them and make them watch the entire 8 seasons.
You're right, because after seeing that, there is no comparison to that. It's unfair of us, and I can admit it, but this show is just not...
Like, you either do the original or you do the Legendary Defenders. Like, it's... Yeah. There is no Voltron Force. There's no third dimension.
It's so bad.
I mean, the problem is they try to continue the story, and but they continue the story by bringing everything back that was already dealt with.
Yeah.
I was like,
and terribly, and not even at a good pace.
Yeah. They do have some ideas, though. I like the kind of bracer things that they had that gave them. They're all like unique weapons. I really like that kind of stuff. I mean, they had the Bayards or whatever in Legendary Defenders, but like, I like that stuff. It's cool.
Essentially the same thing. Yeah.
I like that. It's cool. It was different. Some of them were really dumb, like what's his face's like grappling claw things. I don't know. Where he zipped himself into the floor like 2 seconds. But
would you keep the interchanging gimmick?
no.
Like
That's the problem I had. That's the thing I had the most problem with because it doesn't make any sense.
What gimmick would you put this Voltron?
I wouldn't put any gimmicks. There's no need for
Voltron
gimmicks.
is the gimmick.
Yes.
Well, yeah, like I would say the only thing I would do is give him like maybe different weapons, like instead of
they do that in Legendary Defenders.
Well, that's my point. Like if this was the first go around, that's what I would do.
I would interchanging. If they were going to continue it, like kind of like Josh said, I would make it a whole new Voltron. Like
exactly
that's how you fix this whole like, oh, now they have these weird powers they apparently never had before because they found these kids or something. You just a whole new Voltron. I don't care if it's vehicle Voltron. I don't care what it is. But if you are going to continue it, obviously it can't be because that's part of it originally too. But like just make a whole new Voltron. Make it a different animal. I don't care. Like just make a new Voltron.
Voltron Force made to giraffes.
Yeah, like could you imagine the elephant Voltron? Like hey. What's up, Voltron? Nothing, Voltron. What's going on? Nothing.
What's going on, Voltron?
Well, I mean, they're all called Voltron in that quote-unquote world. The one that's made of vehicles is still Voltron.
Yeah. I
mean, that just seems to be their world's version of this is giant robot. No, robot just means Voltron.
Yeah. The terms are interchangeable, actually. But yeah, I just like, I don't even know what I would make it out of. I'd probably do like, I don't know, you could even do like spaceships, like birds, something like that, make it like more of a reason to take it to space and all that kind of stuff. And it'd be kind of cool to see like a flying version of Voltron that was made, in that sense.
You mean besides the flying version of Voltron? They all flew. It sounded like he was stuck on the ground.
I know. Right. I just mean like, you got the cats, and then he had the little wingy things, but really just the black one had the wingy things. But like, do like what?
The manatee Voltron.
Manatee. Ooh. Ooh.
What we need is the ocean Voltron. We have the sky. We have,
but the black one's a narwhal.
But do we have the heart Voltron? Is the real question. Can we get 5 Voltrons and have their powers combined into Captain Voltron? That's how we fix the show. We've nailed it. 5 Voltrons.
5 different animal Voltrons, and by their power that combine, they become Dynaman.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god. We nailed it. We fixed it. You know what? Sign it. Nope. End the episode right there. 32 minutes. We got this.
Done deal. Bam. Nailed it.
Show's over. Sorry, guys. That was the last episode.
Some aliens just ripping apart a city behind him, and he's like, but do you know about climate change? Save me! Save you? Better idea. Save yourself.
Let's talk
Plant a tree. Why do you think we consist of narwhals? Are you aware of what sonic booms in the ocean?
Does he just like slowly turn toward the camera and just stare at it passionately while he does this?
Hi there. I'm Ultraman Voltron. And I'd like to talk to you today about life.
Oh, 1-800 number comes up across the bottom of the screen. That's his superpower. Form conscientious objector.
City blows up and he just flies off into the distance as like all of the contact info rolls up. He just never saves the city.
People are running away on fire.
So we've made Captain America Voltron.
Yes. Yep. That's it.
That's amazing.
That'd be fantastic. Fantastic.
Voltron summoned with wings.
Could you imagine if the transformation sequence, if they actually did like a Captain Planet Voltron, like a full 5 Lion Voltron combined with 5 more Voltrons on top of that?
But the whole thing is played off like a Sailor Moon.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So like,
just the lights and like a robot's clothes come off, and it's just a naked robot. but then comes back anyway.
And then it's 23-minute episodes. 15 is just the transformation. And then it just turns into like Dino Force, where it's like poor excuse to mash these characters together to fight.
Like right after finishing transforming, whatever that thing is that transformed just freezes like baby.
Baby. Then it just does the dance for the rest of the
Yeah, the robot dances and then shoots his gun and becomes a Power Ranger. What is this guy?
We broke it. We broke it. We fixed it and we broke it.
Great idea. Lord.
But the Toei guys are just eating this shit up.
Oh, yeah.
These are geniuses.
They're listening. Like, that's when you hear the smoke coming off of their pencils. They're just like, yes,
It's great.
genius.
Yeah,
Guys.
we're all joking around like this is so stupid, and they're like,
Toys.
"These guys don't know art."
Literally, all the thinking is just, yeah, I could sell this at Toys R Us.
The kid buys the toy. It's got a rip string. Pulls the back. Zip, kill me, please.
He pulls the rip string, and it turns like a naked Ken doll, and he's just like, wait a second. Wait a minute. Oh Lord. Stop making toys. I feel like if a lot of these shows didn't rely so heavily on toys, they'd be a lot better.
Probably. We have technology, and there's still dudes running around out there for $2 an hour in a full-on latex suit.
Yep, that explodes. By the
Yeah.
way. Like they straight up explode, like anything touches them. Like it could be like a dandelion in the wind touches them and they explode and jump backwards. This is safe. This is really safe, okay guys?
You want me to?
Where were we?
What?
What?
We were trying to fix
Fix Voltron.
a show.
I just
Did we do it?
did. I mean, Legendary Defenders
No.
did it. So good cast.
Yeah, dude, like shit.
Wow, this
about
failed.
all I got.
This failed miserably.
Well, think of it more like we're being as quick as we can because we could demolish it if we really wanted to.
Okay, another point I found. I don't get what, like, I understand the audience is primarily kids, but, like, kids these days aren't stupid. Like, a 1-year-old kid. Okay, okay.
Tide Pods were in January, just so you know.
If you look up stupid in Google, I'm talking like the 4th.
Listen, I'm very
definition
embarrassed
down.
about that picture, okay? Just stop.
But my point is, like, a 1-year-old can, like, surf the web nowadays on a phone and get it, but you still have people making content where, like, the very first intro to Voltron Force, it's kids jump in a canyon on hover bikes where clearly a monster the size of the moon is right behind him. And when he lands, he's like, "What was that?" Turns around, Titanic monster, starts chasing it. 5 cats come flying out of the sky, form into a bigger monster, start fighting. He's watching the whole thing, and his friends come up. He's like, "Did you guys see that?"
No.
Fuck no.
No.
Not even slightly. See what?
You're crazy, man.
There was a cat and a monster. No, it's too busy with that jump, bro.
That's
You
sweet
didn't hear
triple
it?
axle.
No, I didn't hear it either, dude.
Sorry.
So that'd be something I'd work on. Get someone that can actually write
Yeah.
to write.
I just
I could deal with the crappy graphics and maybe the theme song
if the story was a little
if
better.
it had it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Like, if any one aspect that they just improved on, like, a decent amount was better, like, it would be a lot more tolerable, either show. Like, if it was literally anything.
But now,
any
I don't know if I would like the intro to be better, and here's why. I wouldn't want to sit down and hear this really fantastic intro followed by garbage.
True.
I would rather hear really crappy garbage, but hold off just long enough to be like, wait a minute.
Like Game of Thrones.
This is yeah.
Fuck that show.
Yeah, the ending was so good. What are you talking about?
Fuck that whole show.
Yeah.
The show's great until it wasn't. Lordy. Yeah, no, I see what you're saying though. Like, it would be really upsetting to have like an amazing intro and then you literally get that dream sequence into the bad CG Voltron. I don't know. It's hard to not compare even now, like everything, even like the old Voltron, even though it does hold a special place because it's still really entertaining. But it's hard to not compare it to like Legendary Defenders because to me that's like the pinnacle of what Voltron is and has become.
Because it's the truest through and through form of Voltron. It's not like the original. Unfortunately, was all hodgepodge for the most part. Like what Legendary Defenders is a sincere. This is Voltron. This is everything you wanted it to be.
Voltron also had that problem from like the 80s and 70s where they just like Frankensteined a bunch of shows together to make a new show.
That's what I meant. Yeah, like that.
But I mean, to be fair, I think Josh would agree with me. Robotech is fucking amazing.
I agree too.
Yeah.
So there's good and bad that comes with that kind of thing. You know, sometimes it works really well. Sometimes it turns into Voltron Force. In an episode, yeah.
Of Tokudon.
Yeah, it turns into an episode of Tokudon.
The creators of the show are like, oh, cool, I heard this really cool podcast is doing a thing about our show. Listens to the first 3 words. So how do we fix this piece of garbage?
That was like... That may be why I haven't heard anything back from Toku TV.
You're just the creator. Finally, I'm going to be vindicated.
Yeah. They will see my art. They appreciate true Toku. Wow, Voltron Force is fucking terrible.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, everybody's a critic, right?
Yeah, it's just like, oh, you just hear like his little whimper in the distance. Oh.
Did anyone hear that, or is it just something insignificant?
Yeah. Did anyone hear that not caring? Yeah, me neither. Okay.
But we were supposed to fix it, though.
I know.
We can't.
There's no fixing either of these shows, honestly.
Genuine attempt, at least.
So let's say like your ideal Ultraman. Let's do this instead. What would your ideal Ultraman consist of? Like, break it down. Give me the the 1-page fucking pitch line to someone of what you guys would do for your ideal Ultraman if you had to keep a lot of that stuff. I don't know. Give me like a breakdown, like a quick paragraph, back of the box kind of thing of what you would do.
All right, elevator pitch.
Yeah.
You got it. All right. So, okay. So you get. All right.
Dude, I'm already on floor 2.
you get. All right. No, fuck it.
Ding!
No. Damn it,
bro.
I just hit all the buttons. We're stopping.
The doors close, goes up to floor 3, it opens, the guy waiting just sees you on the floor like... it's gonna be okay, buddy. It's gonna be okay.
Oh, man. Ultraman! Oh!
Fuck it. I don't like
Well, there goes that, well thought out question where I was like, hey, let's extend the podcast. Nope, dead in the water.
Yeah, go ahead, man. We got 100 floors on this building.
I got it.
It's got to stop at each
I'm
one.
David S. Pumpkins.
Any questions?
Oh my god, I fucking hate
I legit want to do that for one Halloween. Just put his whole suit on.
Oh man. Anyway,
okay.
Getting back to this.
I can do it. All right. So, real quick, if you take the same concept, say I'm working with the exact formula Dino was, okay?
Yeah.
You take out all the comedic shit. You put in, well, I mean, you got to sprinkle in for Toku's sake, but you take out the stupid slapstick characters. You stick to maybe like.
Well, let's start with this. Let's do it just to interrupt. We'll get a start. What platform would you put it on?
Oh,
PS4.
Oh, I fucking hate you.
Console peasant.
Oh my god.
Nah, I can't think of an Ultraman anime. Is there?
Yeah, we literally just talking about it.
No, not. I thought that was more like
Gary Busey.
Isn't it CG?
It's still anime.
Oh, okay.
Most anime, I hate to break it to you, is CG these days.
You're right. Fair
Since
enough.
Akira, pretty much almost all anime is CG.
You're right. Maybe I'm thinking too pure, but I don't think I would do anything like that. I would stick to the traditional live action.
You never actually answered the platform.
Yeah, I just like, what platform are you gonna put it on? Yeah, I don't know if I do anime or I don't know, CG, man. It's just kind of like PS4.
Listen, I already bombed the elevator one. What are you pressuring me for?
I want a damn answer. Would you put it on Netflix? Would you make it a YouTube show? Would you give it to like Amazon?
Wait, I could do it American? Fuck yeah, it'd be Netflix. Well, they would eat it up.
I don't care what you do it on. Just answer the damn question.
Netflix.
It's not that hard.
I just said it.
Okay, so Netflix. Okay, so that it gives you some room to play with a little more mature stuff, right? So you can go a little harder into that military route.
Exactly.
Cool.
Right,
I'm glad I answered the question for you. Thank you for that, Rob.
You know what? With your guidance, I could get through anything, Carl.
With my oh Lord, I'm just
He's the elevator.
I am the elevator.
Except
Ride me.
Oh, it's so disturbing.
Oh,
You just fumble through the whole pitch, and the guy gets out of the elevator, and you're like, "Well, that didn't go well." The elevator's like, "I kind of liked it." Let's talk.
went fine for me.
Like the security guard like dings in on the little bell thing. He's like, "No, dude, that was kind of cool."
Oh shit!
You leave. You're like, this stinks. The janitor's like, "Psst, hey, buddy, follow me." Go into his closet, and he's got like every part of a computer that he's ever swept up over the year rigged into something. Like, dude, I was listening in. I think I have an idea.
It's the fucking Gridman computer, just like Frankenstein together. Dude, we can do this.
But
on this sucker.
we need a way for him to change. What do you got? You're looking around his closet, like, and there's just a turd in the trash can. You're like, Crystal? Yes.
We did it. Nailed it.
Yes.
Oh my god. Fuck.
I feel like that could only end with like me leaving in an ultra like aluminum foil dino suit just running through the hallway.
That same guy you were trying to pitch to earlier, elevator opens, you're in tin foil and cardboard. Like, get in.
What? We need to talk.
I got it this time.
The janitor's in the corner, like tapping away quickly on the fucking computer.
Grabs the shotgun. What's wrong? Dinah. What? Dinah.
Holy shit. Oh, I'm crying. Oh man. I can't. I don't know where to go with this. Someone take the conversation over. I don't know where to go with this anymore.
So what was the question again?
What platform would I do it on?
Yeah. Right.
Netflix. Got it.
Well, okay, so no, there was the sum up in one page. That
Yeah.
Did we do that or
No, not even close.
Okay, yeah. All right. Hey, I thought we were on to something there.
Can you guys take over? I just spit my water everywhere.
So let's see. What was the question? It was how.
Yeah, Ben.
You're-
Fix Ultraman Dyna in 4 sentences.
4 sentences. Okay. The light killed Gary Busey and separated his heart into a trillion black holes that are trying to destroy Earth, and it's up to some guy suffocating in space to save it. That's the premise.
Beautiful.
The villains are all manifestations of different acid trips. And the light is
God. It's Jesus.
Nailed it.
That's too obvious.
Nailed it. Josh, fix Ultraman Dyna in 4 sentences.
This is gonna be the highest rated podcast. It's fucking everywhere, man.
Fix Dinah in 4 seconds. In 4 sentences. 4 seconds I can do it.
Probably going to be the same thing either way.
Make it better, period.
1. Rip off Voltron. 2. Make a villain. 3. Stop sticking your fingers up some guy's ass. 4. Yeah, let's fire the entire team because they seem incompetent. I think that would fix it all.
Yeah, pretty
Boom.
much.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Carl, are you okay? Did you make it?
Yeah, we're good. No, we're good. We're still recording and everything. We're fine. There's fucking water everywhere, but we're good.
Fix Dinah in 4 sentences.
Me? Oh, fuck. Don't drink water while you're trying to do a podcast. Number 2, make the training squad the fucking regular squad because they're way better than the actual dudes there. 3, keep the alien balloons around because they clearly had the most character in the entire show. And 4, don't use the poop, man. Just don't use the poop.
Don't touch the poop. Poop is bad.
The poop is bad. There we go. Oh, Lord. Oof.
We made it through.
Did we, though?
No. Another drop of our soul has just been dropped on this one.
Oh, man. I am very moist right now.
Fix Voltron in 4 sentences.
Yeah, let's fix
All right.
4 sentences.
I'll go. 1, you change the cast to a whole new set of Voltron Force. 2, you get rid of the fucking old villain and actually commit to some decent ones. 3, Karan must die. And 4, Karan must really die. Nailed it.
Nailed it.
It's a solid 4 points.
I would just do point number 1. Keep the intro 100%. You should actually loop it constantly throughout the episode. Like the same 45-second clip. Don't even make it like a full 3-minute song. Just loop the same 45-second clip throughout the entire episode. 25 minutes each. You should definitely have 5 different Voltrons also Voltron into a bigger Voltron Ultraman Dyna Ranger. You should 100%.
I heard you like giant robots, so we made giant robots into giant robot.
Giant robot.
Exhibit just pops up out of nowhere.
My ultimate form is just a flood and Noah's Ark rolls up with every single animal that you can think of.
In robot form.
This is gonna take a second. Yeah, man, go for it. I'm screwed either way. Yeah, okay, hold on.
No. We got time. No, go for it.
The robot's just like tapping his foot, like, nah, you're good, bro. And then what am I on? 4, 3? I don't know anymore. Just watch Legendary Defenders.
All right. Step number 1. Turn off whatever device you're watching it on. 2.
What platform?
Anime.
It's not a platform.
Live action.
Ah!
Yep, so that's my 4 points.
Nailed it. Oh, man.
Go ahead, Josh.
Voltron, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We're getting real off topic on this one.
Damn, 4 sentences. Stop using lions.
You don't like lions?
I like lines, but I don't. You didn't need lines for if you're continuing the story.
True.
New villain. I mean, it's fucking space. There's got to be a lot more than just one evil empire.
No, it's just that one guy.
Especially an evil empire after you've destroyed that empire.
The rest of the universe is cool as shit. It's just that one thing.
One asshole.
I kind of liked him. I called him Mr. Because when they first introduce him, they're like giving his background and they're showing him sitting on his throne, and he just looks out over his army like, and they all just charge like they understood him. So, Mr.
Makes sense. Was that? Kill the kids.
Kill the kids. Just murder them.
Straight up kill them. That should have been the first episode. Which then, if you could go back to the original lines, maybe the kids had this third line or the third Voltron. They just royally effed it up, and so they go back to the original.
There you go.
I don't know. Sacrifice to Cthulhu.
Yes,
Good work.
Nailed it.
Good work.
That's the best one, actually. That's what you should just do. When in doubt, sacrifice to Cthulhu. Oh, man. So what'd you guys do this week?
I came back from the dead.
Yeah,
That
sure.
was pretty cool.
That was cool.
That took a lot of sacrifices to Cthulhu.
That's what me, Josh, and Rob were doing.
Not
We
a
were
lot,
just-
just the right ones.
There was a whole Monster Reborn card involved. It was pretty sticky.
Yeah. You should have seen the graveyard and, like, everything we had to, like, put together. It was crazy.
They had 5 pieces of Exodia.
Yeah.
All of them.
All of them. And then we sacrificed them
was
to the
me.
graveyard.
So we can summon a Karibo.
Yep.
It means a lot when someone gives up the winning hand to bring you back from the Shadow Realm.
This is why.
This
We
is why.
specifically brought you back for this episode. We may kill you again when we're done. We're not sure yet.
So we brought you back to talk about the episode that killed you.
Send me back.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
That's
Well-
what I wanted.
We kind of want Zodiac back. So.
Yeah. I kind of want to win, so bye.
We don't have to tell you this, but you're in an infinite loop.
Oof. Oof. Oof.
That's not good.
Shit. Oh man. So yeah, what did I do this week?
In 4 sentences or less, go.
In 4 sentences. That's my sentence. Played a little bit of the new Pokemans. I'm enjoying it thoroughly. I don't care what people say.
What generation are we on now?
8, I think.
I haven't heard anything bad about it. Has there been bad things?
Yeah,
about it?
so people are like
Yeah.
boycotting the game because it doesn't have all 1,000 something fucking Pokemon in it. And then like the one complaint I did kind of feel was like they were basically like exploding over being able to turn the camera, and I was like, we figured this out like 25 years ago, guys. It's not that big of a deal. Relax. But it's
What, they wanted a fixed camera?
yeah. Apparently they wanted like the isotopic view, whatever they call that, typical view, and it's like, come on now.
Wait, but why? Why would that?
Because that's Pokemon. I don't know, man. So I thoroughly enjoy this game. I think we were talking about it a little bit earlier. Like the limited dex helps you kind of not default to your regular things, and I'm down with exploring the new stuff. I like a lot of the new designs a lot, actually. Dreadnought I've nicknamed Gamera, so that's cool because it turns into this giant fucking tortoise monster. Yeah, the new gimmick is called Dynamaxing, which is when they turn into big kaiju-sized things, which is pretty cool. You can do that to any Pokemon inside of certain battles. They're called raid battles. You can do those to any Pokemon, but certain ones get it called Gigantamax, which is basically like Mega Evolution times like 30 in size. So they all get a new form. That's why Charizard has like the 5,000th form of Charizard now.
Yeah.
Butterfree literally turns into Mothra, so that's pretty cool. There's a couple, like a lot of the new ones get it. My personal favorite Pokemon so far is Toxtricity, which is toxic and electric, or poison and electric, I should say.
I don't think there's been that typing before.
There hasn't, and it's beautiful, and he's awesome. And he has a low-key state and an amped state, depending on his nature when he evolves.
Oh.
So you can either have this like kind of whatever look. It's like a lizard that stands on like a furry lizard almost that stands on 2 legs, and it either has like a giant electric mohawk or it doesn't. It's pretty cool. I like that thing a lot. It's pretty great. Pretty great. I think that was really it, honestly. I'm just trying to survive this holiday season in retail. So, yeah.
I think I stopped on Gen 1, so
Gotcha.
I don't really know about all this hip new stuff. I do know that there's an ice cream cone.
Yes. Vanilla ice or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why I stayed away from it for so long, because
that'll do it.
just, I don't, like, it was cool at first, and then they went into like the geometrical shape generation where everything was like a rock that had eyes that were just jelly beans or something.
Yeah, there's a few of them, and that's kind of why I don't hate the like limiting it either, because a lot of them start to look the same.
And then I don't like how like they went back then to Gen 1 and made like pre-evolution versions that kind of ruined the nostalgia, like with Pikachu.
Yeah.
He's
Pichu
like
and Plus and Minus or whatever they're called.
But he like just it doesn't make sense. You have this round, realistic-ish for cartoon looking mouse
cat
that turns into another realistic mouse. But then when you go back, he's got like diamond ears that can't physically attach to his head, and his shapes are just as simple and basic as you can get. So it ruined it. Like, how do you go from a circle with diamonds on it to a realistic looking body?
Yeah.
And they did that for a lot of other people too, that just, I don't know.
I personally am a fan of some of them. Like, I think Snorlax's actually looks kind of good. He's got like a pre-evolution now. I mean,
he's right though. They're pointless.
Yeah. But I mean, that was more of, back then they were trying to expand on. I mean, they're still doing it. They're still milking the first 150 real hard.
Oh yeah. No, yeah.
Like if you look at if you looked at like the full list of who get the Gigantamax, you have your Charizard, you have Gengar, you have like all the typical Gen 1 people, and then you have like some of the new ones, and that's pretty much it.
Wow.
Yeah, like there's 35 or 36, a decent chunk. Most of them are like Gen 1 and the new guys. So
shit.
Yeah.
Did Ash turn 17 yet?
Ash has been dead the entire time.
It's been a dream.
So he died at 16.
Yeah, apparently there's a
He
big
never grew up past 12. What are you talking about?
Yeah, so I was reading a very interesting theory looking into some of this Pokemon stuff leading up to the game. Apparently he dies when the Spearows attack him in the first episode. And the reason he sees Ho-Oh is because that's Ho-Oh bringing him to the afterlife, and he's kind of stuck in this like limbo thing, and it's all in his like spirit head or whatever, and that's why he never ages a day. So yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's like a couple thousand holes in that theory. But...
Listen, I'm gonna need you guys to stop ruining everything. That'd be great.
So have you heard any like good, like other than that, any good theories? There's a couple out there I think are pretty cool.
That's the most interesting one I've heard personally, that he's been dead the entire time, and I explained it very poorly, but yeah, that's the most interesting one I've heard.
I know there's one where like Gengar is supposed to be like a Clefairy's ghost.
Yes, I did hear that one. Yes,
that one's cool. And then what was the other one? The Voltorb and what's his other evolution?
Electrode.
Yeah, those two guys are supposed to be Pokeballs that a haunter tried to haunt and then got caught inside it and stuck. Because like Haunter and those dudes have the same eyes.
Interesting.
And they look like Pokeballs. Yeah. So that was that theory.
There's a couple like real dark things like that. Like there's one, it's Rob, you might know the name. It's like Tree Ant or something like that. The Trevenant, yeah, the ghost tree. That's the spirit of children who died in the forest wandering that possesses a tree.
All the ghost types have the better stories.
Yeah. Lavender Town, man. That's all it is. So
who's what's it, like Wobbuffet? Where there's one where Wobbuffet, like his blue body isn't the Pokemon.
Really?
It's tail. Because if you look at his body, he has no eyes or anything, and if you look at his tail, it has these two white circles on it that look like the unknown eyeballs.
Whoa.
And so people are saying like because the unknown don't have a shape and they want to exist, they somehow managed to like project a physical image, and the tail is actually an unknown Pokemon just projecting a Wobbuffet,
Weird.
and that's the Pokemon. Yeah,
You learned some weird shit in the Shadow Realm, Ben.
yeah. Got to meet some weird people in the Shadow Realm.
Time runs a little differently over there. He had a lot of time.
Isn't there one where Ditto is like
Sex jelly.
no, it's
Mew?
yeah,
a failed Mew
failed
or something like
Mewtwo.
that. Yeah.
Failed
Mewtwo. Yeah.
Mewtwo's.
Yep. There's a lot of really
And
interesting stuff like that, honestly.
I think I might pick up the.
I dig it. I got Shield. Because
You got Shield,
we got
right?
Rainbow Dash, so we're cool. Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
That one's name is Zamazenta.
I don't know what their names are, man. You're asking the wrong person.
I'm just reading this. I'm looking at the roster here.
Yeah, you get the weird. You get a really cool moment in the very beginning before you, like, right after you pick your starters, where you see this like interesting kind of neutral version of them. So I don't know if they're supposed to be the same one or what's going on. Like, the story surprisingly like intrigued me very early, and I was like, "What is actually going on here?" Because you like wander into this really foggy forest, and then you all of a sudden are fighting like one of these wolf legendary things, but it doesn't have like the shield main or the sword. It's just like a neutral thing. But like your attacks literally don't hit it or anything. It's very strange. So it was kind of interesting right off the gate. So, yeah.
Any generation, pick your starter Pokemon.
Like, of the starters, or just pick a, like, first
No,
one?
just any Pokemon, you find the first evolution of it, and you're just like, let's hang out.
Beldum.
Oh, first generation Eevee. That's easy.
Just because it has so many
Okay.
options.
Yeah.
I like that. Normally, like, Ampharos is my favorite Pokemon of all time, so it'd be Mareep. That would be the first one. But
Wait, you said strictly first gen?
No, any gen.
Any
Oh,
gen.
any
fir-
gen.
First,
Okay.
first evolution. So like you don't,
Okay.
like you're not going to come across a Charizard and be like, "This is my starter."
Yeah.
You got to get a Charmander.
yeah,
I see one.
I would say Mareep probably because Ampharos is my favorite Pokemon. But honestly, Dreadnought is giving it a run for its money. I really like my Dreadnought. So
What's that?
Choodle.
What's its typing?
It's Water Rock.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and Toxtricity too. So it'd be. You know what? I'm gonna say Toxtricity because it's a unique typing altogether.
I forget the name of my favorite. It's like human size. It's blue with like a fox or not fox.
Wolf. He
Raccoon.
can talk or something.
No, he can't talk, but he does like
Lucario?
yeah. I think it's,
He's
Riolu.
the staff. He's the staff a lot of times in like the fighting games like Smash Brothers,
Oh.
Pokken Tournament. He does like an energy staff. It's kind of cool.
I know
Yeah.
it's gonna,
martial arts one.
I know it's going to sound funny, but I would want a Magikarp.
Because it goes to Gyarados.
Yeah, well, no, but just like I think I like those kind of evolutions.
Yeah.
Like
Surprising.
it's a useless fish, and like you could just kick it like stupid fish, you suck, and then he turns into basically a whale-sized water dragon.
Yeah. Until you get the Mega Evolution, then it just turns into a tuna with a dragon mouth.
Hmm.
So I think I read the article title confirmed that they eat Pokemon. I was like, they're the only animals in this world. It's like saying, in other news, fire's hot.
Right.
It's like, what else are they going to eat?
Yeah.
That's they made a joke about that in this like cartoon video or something. He's like, I need nutrition. You gotta feed me. We don't kill Pokemon. We do it for you.
Oof. Could you imagine just like going to a restaurant and it's like Jinx filet? Or like some of them are real human and it makes me a little uncomfortable, like sock and throw. They're a little too human. I don't know if I could have a roasted
Clearly they're
sock.
not eating all animals, just like people don't eat all animals.
you never know.
They had the buffalo Pokemon. What? I mean, honestly, who's raising that for fun?
Me.
Right.
Tauros is cool. Or Bufala, is that his name? What's the other one? The one with the afro.
Buffalint.
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 Yeah, there you go. The one with the afro. So, yeah, that's what I was doing. Still think Digimon is infinitely better, but I enjoy this game a lot.
By far.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%. I would rather Choshinkai than fucking whatever Gigamax Evolution any day. So.
I mean, if we're being honest, the creatures are just cooler.
Yeah, exactly.
If you could choose between having a mouse that shoots electricity out of its tail or a dragonoid human wearing armor that
Okay,
can
wait.
summon meteor
Didn't you
from
just
the sky.
complain about how this one Pokemon evolved from this thing that doesn't look any realistic, and then you're saying, oh yeah, Digimon, that one's great because they clearly evolved to think nothing relating to their original form.
Yeah.
But they wear their original grown-up forms, but with armor. That's why they're cooler.
Well, no, it's different because Pokemon are real. So that would be like saying no, like
Wait, let's dissect this sentence. Pokemon are real. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Hear me out. So if you're in the Pokemon world, you open up your door and there's a Pidgey sitting on the window. If you're in the real world in Digimon, you don't open up your door and there's
You get slurped into your
Garurumon.
computer.
Yeah, it's a digital program. So I can understand a program going from a tiny T-Rex to a humanoid dragon as opposed to a living mouse turning into not that.
Not that. Yeah, I see that. I also... Yeah, I don't know.
Or, like an ice cream cone. If I'm about to eat an ice cream cone,
And its fucking eyes open up.
like that doesn't happen, and it doesn't become a sundae. That's how you solve world hunger.
I love ice cream so much. I might not hesitate.
I mean,
Okay, have you guys ever seen Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends?
a long time ago.
Probably one of the saddest but most hilarious moments of any cartoon episode I've ever seen is when Max's older brother discovers creating imaginary friends, and the first thing he makes is a pizza slice that goes, "Hello, world!" and he just eats it, and it starts screaming for its life. That would be like an ice cream cone Pokemon. Starter opens up the ball, it's ice cream. You're like, what are you doing? Haven't eaten yet today. You wouldn't want to evolve real quick, would you?
Oh, Lord.
But then, the ice cream cone shoots you in the face with an ice blast. So.
Yeah. Fucking ice beam.
What are we talking about?
I don't know anymore, honestly.
I just got hungry out of nowhere.
Real hungry. Should we call it there?
Yeah.
You really got through what you did this week.
I know.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if no one's going to talk, we're just going to sit here staring at each other. Let's go. Who's next?
We just had a full conversation about Pokemon being eaten and
And
the
none of
moral
us
high
did
ground.
what you did.
We're going on weird ways here.
Yeah. Fuck it. Who's next? Let's go.
I can make mine quick. I literally died, came back, and then had to work.
Jesus.
That's about it. Yeah.
Whoa.
well,
Explain
as
that.
for me, I did
Suck
finish
that elevator.
Stop that elevator. 4 sentences, go.
I finished the Supergirl.
Oh,
Or at least it was on Netflix.
How was that for you?
Not bad. I mean, I've watched worse things.
Clearly.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Man, I haven't done really anything this week. I was desperate to try to come up with something to write, and I guess I'm having the most severe writer's block I've had in a while. I'll stare at the screen and I'll cry for like a good 2 minutes before I type in nothing.
Are you still working on your novel?
Well, yeah, that's another thing. Well, that's it's okay. I'll be fine.
I understand, man. So okay, actually, on that note, it wasn't this week, but after years and years of writing, finally sending my novel out for to publishers.
Oh,
So
shit.
Good shit, bro.
hoping to hear something back on that.
So I was
The same story
go
we've been talking about for the whole time.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, everyone jokes about it because they're like, dude, it took you 13 years to write the first book of 7. But
yeah.
it sounds funny, like if you just say it like that, dude, it took you 13 years. But you have to understand, 13 years ago, I was like 12. So I didn't have the schooling, I didn't have the whatever. I had the thoughts, and I tried to put them on paper.
Yeah.
And years later, you go back and read your first chapter, and you want to throw up. And you're like, well, this is no good. I have to rewrite this. But I remember going back because I didn't want to go back at first. I wanted to just finish it and then read it through and see what needed to be changed before I made major edits. And I remember finishing the last chapter, and it was like 36 pages, and then I went back to chapter 1, and it was 2. So I used current knowledge and rewrote it, and it ended up being like 15 pages of content.
Yeah, you're never really happy at all until you just do it.
Yeah, so I mean, there's not much more.
Joke's on you. I'm never happy
now. How'd you write your book with this face? It's a podcast. I can't see what you're doing. Oh, right. Angry.
Angry react in the Discord. Oh Lord. Nice.
Yeah, but I mean, it's done, and I'm holding off on the second book. I've got like 3 or 4 chapters done, but
nice.
I'm waiting to see if it gets picked up before I start investing years and years into the next books.
And I'm sure,
as sad as it is, if it doesn't go anywhere, it's not worth wasting time over then.
And I'm sure, once, because you'll have the world set and everything, that one will go a lot faster too. It won't take nearly as long.
That was the thing.
The voice is the hard part. Yeah.
What was that?
Finding the voice to tell the story is the hard part. Like the way you want it to sound, the way you want the characters to be.
That's a big thing too. I know you and I talked, and I don't want to get into specifics because
it sucks.
Because I'm trying to keep it hush until it gets out there. But it's 2 different storylines. So I spent all this time working on one character whose story arc is supposed to be kind of like happy-go-lucky. I'm new at this. I don't really understand what's going on. And then ends on a note that changes his story. This next book starts off with a character who already is thrown into that world. So the mindset I have to have going into it is much more serious and dark. And so it's a whole new writing experience. So you're right. It's like finding that new tone for the scene, the new just sound, like everything that's got to fit in, but completely opposite of everything I've done so far.
Yeah.
So it's just like flipping the script.
Well, it's dope that you got it out there, man. I hope the best for real.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I've heard the kind of submitting to publisher process is kind of like private eye work, where you have to like straight up like research who you're sending it to, and like
it's the worst, dude.
I've seen like people like rewrite the first chapter depending on who they're sending it to, that kind of thing. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, so the people right now, okay, so at first I thought it was going to be this whole thing like you get a publishing house, they promote your book, they sell it, they do all that stuff. That's not true. Most of them will just make your book and help you advertise and promote and all that. So a lot of it falls on you, which is why people get agents. But then I found out agents primarily only like hook you up with a publishing house, and then they're like, okay, now that I did, here's my 10% for everything you make. And so I didn't want to do that. So I had to do a whole bunch of research on just how to get it done on my own.
Yeah.
And it's so much harder than writing the book.
Yeah.
Like it really is. That's the worst part. Like, so I found out copyright laws will apply to anything, registered or not, once it's in tangible form. So the moment I finished writing my book, it was protected by copyright. The reason people will register, though, is because then you have a official government note, and like a saved file somewhere saying like, no, he sent this in with us 5 years ago, and the work you published was 2 years ago, so you clearly stole his work, and we have documented proof of it.
How long does
So
that process typically take to get it like officially copyrighted?
7 to 10 months.
Interesting.
So mine took about 8.5, and then I got that back, and then I got into searching for publishing houses, and you have to learn all the tricks. Like there was one, there's a commercial on TV that was like, "Here, we're local in PA. Sign up with us. Like everything's great." So I looked it up online. They have connections with Barnes and Nobles, like Amazon, all this stuff, and it sounded fantastic. But then you get down into the sub clauses in the thing, and it's like for a small initiation fee, and I was like, okay, I mean, it sounds like they're offering some good stuff, but what's the fee? And it's like for a one-time payment of $3,000 per work, and I'm like,
not bad.
Yeah, that's
That's a scam.
Sure. Yeah, so you find out real quick, don't ever sign with a publishing house if you have to pay them.
Yeah.
Everything goes to you, or you don't go to them. So I finally found a place that sounds pretty good. It was started by like some 28-year-old guy who went to school for all that publishing and everything. But the part that caught my attention was their connections and the fact that they do 50% royalties.
Damn.
So, yeah, wow. So they even gave the example in their statements. Like, so say we sign up with Amazon and we sell your book to them for $20, but we profit 18 off of it. You just made $9 off your book.
Damn.
So
ain't bad.
that's good. And then I've reached out to like Barnes and Nobles myself, and you can sign up with them, and they will purchase your book, like a small amount of copies of them. But then they set you up with like a book signing, and if it does well, then they keep racking in. So now I'm just in the research phase, and it's very not what I want. Like I want to write, I don't want to
do the clerical stuff.
But I have to. So. And I'm sure once I get in the hang of it, it's going to be second nature. So
that's dope, man. Yeah. I'm proud of you because I know you've been working on shit for as long as I've been working on mine. So,
and this, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I had, I believe, 6 different people proofread it before I sent it out.
Yes.
And I got one review that wasn't bad, but only one person had points to work on. But in their same review, they compared the book to a cross between Game of Thrones and Harry Potter. So I had to sit there like, well, that's #1 TV show and movie franchise. So
everybody's running around stabbing each other with wands. That's what it is.
So that can't be bad.
You're a wizard. That's awesome, dude. No, really, that is. That's awesome.
The white wizard.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah. So it's aggravating, but it's fun, and I enjoy the process. Like even if it doesn't make it, I have 365 pieces of paper with a story that I wrote.
Yeah.
There you go.
So it's just very cool to have that.
You know what I have? I have about 365 drawings I never finished. That makes you feel any better. So that's awesome.
It kind of does.
Good. Good. That's what I'm here for. Moral support.
Yeah.
All right.
So
your failure empowers me.
Yeah. Puts me into a deep dark hole, but go on.
I save that recording of you saying that, and whenever I get just depressed with my book or whatever, I play it on a loop. Like half of my drawings are unfinished. Yeah, well,
it's cute. You think that's half? Oh Lord, that's awesome. It really is. Congratulations.
Thanks. And since you guys are so cool, when it comes out, I'll only charge you full price.
Oh shit!
Oh
shit!
I demand you double charge me. Fuck that.
I'll pay for it, but it better be like the first copy.
All of my friends like, hey guys, I signed these, so they're 8 times more expensive. But because you're family, they're 8 times more expensive. Oh.
Cool.
Mom shows up at the book signing. She's like, can I just get one free? Excuse me, ma'am?
Do I know you?
This is how I support my family. You live alone. Yeah, you're gonna have to leave, ma'am.
That's awesome.
Christmas is gonna be interesting after that. Just my whole family, like, oh, what did we get? Everyone's got the same shaped
To bill for the book.
present. Well, what do you think? Hey.
You got an honorable mention. How about that one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not even the book. It's a gift certificate for half off the book.
That's actually the honorable mention thing. That's something I'm looking forward to in book number 2, because every single character in the entirety of the story is based off a person I've met in life.
Nice.
So I had a contest a while back on Facebook where I had everybody who wanted to be featured in the book comment their name or like or whatever. So there's actually going to be a chapter in book number 2 where every character in that chapter is going to be one of those people that commented or liked. So it's like a marketing thing. Like, wait, all these people are in it, so that's going to be cool for them, and then they'll be able to show friends and family, like, hey, this is me. Go buy this book because I'm in it. That's cool. And I'll just be,
I died 2 seconds into my scene. Yeah.
This is me, really, because this character is described as morbidly grotesque and just fat.
It's really
But it's me. Nice. Nice.
I read that book. You're kind of a dick. What?
So you're the piece of crap that gets everyone killed 5 seconds in.
That's literally probably my character. Leroy! That'd be amazing. Oh, man. Cool. What'd you do, Josh?
Like I said, I finished up Supergirl, and then I've been playing
Fallen Order. Yeah. I dig it. Game's cool. Everyone go play that game. It's cool. It's very cool. It's an EA game that's actually good.
Okay. Leave the podcast.
It's fucking gone.
Yeah. Boom. Our views just plummeted. Oof.
If they got this far, they could plummet.
It's true.
I think we can wrap it up.
Yeah. Do you guys have anything else you want to bring up or anything? Nope. All right. Sounds like a plan to me. All right. Next week we are going to be doing Ryu Kendo. Ryo Kendo. Madan Senki Ryo Kendo as a review. We'll see. I'm excited. I watched the first episode or 2 and I enjoyed it a lot. So we'll see. This episode will be heavily edited. Just be forewarned if you got this far. It was heavily edited and probably a lot of dead air cut out. So, yeah, thanks for listening. My name's Carl.
Rob.
Josh.
And Ben.
We're Tokudon, and if you guys want to join our Discord and join in these wacky antics outside of the cast, we're usually being idiots 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Feel free to join
I
the
did
Discord.
25 once.
Ooh, damn.
Yeah.
That's how he died. It was a rough week.
You watch one intro to Voltron Force, and suddenly it's a 25-hour day. Show.
Oh, man. You guys can join the Discord. The link's below. Please check us out on iTunes, Google, all that stuff. We have a Facebook page. We're going to start posting on there a little more. And, yeah, thanks for listening. Bye.
See ya.
Get out.